Hey ladies, my name is Benika and I want to welcome you to my channel, Once Upon a Squat. In my channel, I will be sharing things about self-love, fitness, anything encompassing life that I feel that may help another woman that's going through anything and everything in life. I consider myself a self-love coach to help ladies love themselves more in every part of life. And I also tag myself as a personal fitness herpy, as I help ladies in health and fitness, and just like herpes, they don't go away and I don't plan on going anywhere. So this is a video that I actually have owed you guys for a few weeks. I actually recorded this on Saturday and it didn't upload, and I was like, and then after my day I realized there was a reason it didn't upload, because I needed to go at a different angle with this subject. And the subject is about women in transition. And I'm not talking about women that are changing their sex. I'm talking about the woman that's going from married to being single, but still lives in the same home with the person that they're ultimately getting a divorce for. A lot of times our marriages just don't work out. And for whatever reason, sometimes it's not as easy to part. It could be financial reasons, it can be for benefit reasons, it can even be reasons of the children or just location in general. You could be in a place that is a far out away from family, you just have to save up a little bit. So regardless of what your situation is, it's one that you have to be okay with within yourself and not be ashamed of. And that's what I mean by okay. There is a lot of emotions that go with being in a situation like this. There's two ways that you're in it. One, you were struck out of nowhere and you're being forced to, your separation is being forced on you. Either your mate decides, you know what, I don't want to be married to you and I've moved on, or I found something else, or I'm doing something else, and it's like it's a shocker and you're just like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know my next step. The other one is if you realize that you've grown and that you have, sorry, my face all shiny. You've grown, you've evolved, and the person that you with just hasn't evolved. You've grown apart and you're just not in the marriage the way you used to be. You've tried, you've considered counseling, you went through all the avenues needed, and this person just doesn't want to change for the better. Not changing who they are as a person, but just changing for the better. Maybe adding goals to their life, or it could be that you started focusing on your health and this person is steady doing things that are just, you don't want to watch this person die because they don't want to step up and be healthier or do the things, whatever the reason for it. You're now in this situation. The thing with being okay with your feelings and your emotions and how you handle this is the one thing. For me, I know mine was I didn't see this coming. And so it was really hard for me to handle certain things because I value marriages. I wanted my marriage to last. I fought for a very long time, but it was one-sided. And so it was really hard for me to live in a house with someone that I loved with all of my heart. And this person wasn't giving those feelings back, or even the actions back. Ooh, freaking fly. Or even the actions back. So it was a lot of self-healing, just digging deep within myself. And that's the second point. When you're going through a living in a home situation, the focus is yourself. If you have children, of course, your children are a priority, but your daily focus is yourself. And that means doing things that's going to help you feel better about who you are, make you look like, when you look at yourself, that you love what you see, getting yourself involved in activities and doing things that are going to fill your cup. For me, I had nothing that I was into prior to my separation because I did dive too much into my kid's father. I didn't take the time to find out who I was. So now I'm taking that time to find out who I am. I'm stepping into my passion. I'm finding out the things that I like while I'm waiting for our situation to get to where it needs to be. The other thing is owning this part of your feelings. The third thing, you're going to feel different about married couples being around them if you are the part where something happened, like your marriage, it became like it was a shocker for you that you're in this situation. You're going to struggle dealing with other people who are married. The best way to handle this is be open to your friends. Be like, girl, I love you. You know, I love you and your husband and your family, but that's something I want for myself. And right now that's not happening. So I need time to figure this out. And that's the only way. Don't go ghost. Don't push away your friends, because what can happen is, if you're part of the family, like if you guys have already been interacting, the husband understands what's going on, and he's going to be like, it's okay, you and her can have girl time. It's not like you're going out and doing all this crazy stuff, but maybe you go to a spa, go to a movie, go out to coffee, do things that are still, you know, safe for her, as, you know, within her marriage, you know, since now you're in this transition of being single, but this may be an important person that's in your life that can help you. The other thing is, you're going to look at people who are single a little different, because you're going to like, oh my God, I wish I had your life. Or maybe you have a person that's single and you don't like the way they're living. You might be, oh my God, will that be my life? So it's a little twist to it, but no matter how you look at it, know that this is a step for you. If you've ever been through the fourth thing is, if you've ever been through a death, you know that there's 7 steps of grieving. It's the same thing when you go through a separation. But here's the kicker. You're going to go through this again when ultimately you have the divorce. And it's a different type of feel. It's a different type of things, you know. So there's the different 7 steps of grieving. You know, there's denial, anger, you know, you can look that up. I don't remember them exactly, but there's 7 steps of emotions that you go through when dealing with death. You're going to go through that with your separation. Some happens like overnight and the next day you're done with it. Some take longer than others. Don't allow someone to tell you how how you need to deal with this separation. The only thing you need to focus on is the emotion actually serving you. Are you being angry because you want to get back at that person? Understand that's not serving you. It's not going to help you move on. It's only going to make you angrier, because that person is not at the same level you are. Like, they're not angry about it because obviously they moved on. This is something they want. You're angry about it. So you have to make sure your emotions are serving you. Are you angry because you feel like, okay, I spent too much, I've wasted so many years? And if that's the case, then you have to go take out the positive of what was wasted, you felt was wasted. Allow yourself to grieve that wasted time, and then you have to let it go. So it's those ways of how you deal with those steps of grief. I know that I talked about not having shame about it. I know that a lot of times on social media, you see people posting, I love my husband, I love my wife, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden there's divorce, or there's a separation, or you don't see anything. And a lot of times there's like a huge gap. You're like, girl, I didn't know. And it's because the person is ashamed, or you don't want people to know that your marriage failed and you were in the home for a long time. Listen, that was the worst thing I could have ever done when I first started, because the more I talked about it, the more I realized there were other women living the same way. And it's nice to have someone else that's in the situation that's not being a victim. Now, you have to make sure the person you find to help you go through that can relate is not being a victim. There's someone like, this is my situation and I'm doing things every day to help myself be better within this situation so I can get to the ultimate goal of what I'm trying to do out of my situation. And like I said, everybody's situation is different. I know for me, it's a benefit thing. I have to be married for a certain amount of time to be solid into my benefits. Those things are important to me, and that's how I'm going after and handling the things that I'm doing. Hold on. Okay. That's how I'm handling the things that I'm doing. So it's take time to assess your reasons. Be okay with those reasons, and don't let anybody shame you for taking the reasons that you are while you're in your separation. But at the same time, don't be ashamed to say you're separated. The other thing is rules. and boundaries. Now, this is something that I had to learn the hard way, and I want to be able to share with you ladies. First, there's one rule that's always been like, as in this house, I'm the head BIC, so no other cooters coming up here, but I give the same respect. No wangalang is coming up in here either. So that's one of the rules. It's just like we're roommates, so even if it was a different roommate or what, that would have been a rule because my children are here. So we don't want different people coming in our house and our kids seeing that. The other thing is to say, what roles are you guys going to do in the house while you're now cohabitating? What are you in charge of? What are your responsibilities? What things will you be doing? Talking about a schedule. This is your weekend. This is my weekend. Or, I spend the mornings with the kids. I spend the evening with the kids. About dates when you're, going out of town. If it's up to you to let the person know, hey, this is the weekend I'm going out of town, or maybe you don't want that communication. Maybe you decide you do you, I do me. Don't tell me what you're doing. I won't tell you what I'm doing. Everyone's situation is different, but it's a requirement to have this communication to say what you expect of each other, because when you don't do this, you run into a lot of situations, and there's a lot of heartache and a lot of just upsetness all the way around if both people are not on the same wavelength, or what I'm trying to say, on the same playing field when it comes to living in a house as separated. There are no rules to this. There are no rules that are like solid. All of these, each situation is different, but as long as you are being verbal about it and the two of you are understanding about this is a requirement for the both of you, it can work out. If you find yourself where you feel like it started to work out and it's not because there's feelings or there's things that's come, make sure you reach out for help. I know for me, I got a counselor that I can talk to about my feelings, and understanding that sometimes it's guiding me to focus on the right things or to help me see things in a different perspective. That is something that helps. The other thing is, even if you're open and even if you're honest about it, and you decide that the separation, like while you're in it and you decide, you know what, our marriage is going to work, and you go back, it's totally okay. You don't have to show face for anybody. It doesn't matter if you had a bad day and you decide to bash them to death on any social media platform. That's just how you express yourself that day, and things change, people grow, and you have the opportunity, because it's your life, to change if you decide to. The other thing is, when you decide it's over, be okay with telling people, hey, don't pray for me, or don't wish, or don't make it seem like this is a bad thing for me. This is what I want for myself. This is something we agreed on, and this is what's going to happen. The divorce is happening. This is just happening to be our situation. So there's two different, times people don't want things to happen for you, but then sometimes you have that person in your life that wants all the bad things to happen for you. So make sure you pay attention to the type of advice you're getting from the people. Make sure they're in your best interest when you're telling things or when you're sharing things. I really hope that this video has helped any of our ladies that are in the transition. I know for me, I didn't really know, like I was finding people, but nobody really wanted to talk about it. Like, it was still taboo. And I want to show light on this situation to let there's so many of us that are living in the same home with someone that we were married with or in a long-term relationship, but we can't just up and bounce. But that doesn't mean our life stops. It doesn't mean that we cannot be single women. Like, we've had our time. The paper is no longer valid. Like, the paper just didn't hold things together, and now we're on our way to being single women. We don't have to wait until the end. Like, we don't have to. Doesn't matter what anyone says, we don't have to. But in the meantime, to help each other learn how to live and still be prosperous, fill our cups, love ourselves, become the woman we're supposed to become, in, while we're in this is what needs to happen. So if you like this video, make sure you make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please comment below to let me know if it's helpful, or any topics you want me to go over, or if there's anything that, I can talk about, say, do, improve, whatever. Just put it all in the comments and make sure you give all the love. All right, talk to you later.